Claude Cowork is an application that has the capability to absolutely revolutionize your workflow. It is an AI-powered desktop assistant that has the capability to organize documents, create files, create automations, create integrations for you. And once you start learning how to use plugins and skills, it is a superpower of an application. All right. Today, we're going to be going over 5 features that makes Claude Cowork one of the most powerful AI assistants that you're ever going to have. OpenClaw is amazing. It is fantastic. However, because of the security features or the security risks that come along with OpenClaw, Claude Cowork, it is a lot more efficient and is a lot more user-friendly. I believe it is the enterprise solution to giving the average employee the ability to use integrations, automations, and to create them all by themselves, run locally, and doesn't give access to anything else outside of that local computer. The only downside that I've found about Claude Cowork is Claude Cowork only works when the desktop is turned on and the computer is on, which makes sense. It's not like OpenClaw. If you put it on a VPS, it's still running in the background because you have it on a server. Beautiful thing about Claude Cowork, it thinks and acts, not just answers, runs locally, is always learning. Claude 4.6 Sonnet just got released today, 40% cheaper in tokens in comparison to Opus 4.6. The metrics are pretty similar. However, Opus 4.6 has significantly better reasoning for massive coding tasks. So I tend to believe that people are going to be using Opus 4.6 primarily for agent teams and Sonnet 4.6 as co-creators within the agent teams. The presentation that you're looking at right now was 100% created by Claude Cowork, which is pretty phenomenal if you think about it. The amount of time that it would save you. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get Claude Cowork to use the browser extension and perform a tasks. Instead of using Opus 4.6, we're going to use Sonnet 4.6. It's pretty new. We're actually testing this out live as well. In order for you to get the browser extension working, what you need to do is you need to go into your extensions, type in Claude, Claude, and it's going to come up. But however, instead of it coming up as remove, it's going to come up as add to your browser extensions. So once you do that, you need to make sure that you log in. Once you log in, it should be able to perform tasks for you. So we're going to use All right, let's get going. Let's see how long this is going to take. Okay, so it's going to ask you to allow. So it does prompt you to give it permissions to do certain tasks. And you should see it running now. So there you go. So it's on a product hunt now, and it's just going to be performing those tasks. And then once it's finished, you can come back and review it, whatever, or make sure that it does certain things. So it has the ability to navigate, click in real time, fill out form, extract data from pages, multi-step web workflows, take and analyze screenshots. So how it works is it will take a screenshot, it will analyze it, and it will give you an output. Okay. Next, we're going to be going through the app integrations that it has. Okay, so there you go. It will give you the output that you want. So pretty neat. Okay. So it gives you a markdown summary and it shows you the thinking process, which is pretty cool. Okay. The next thing that it does have the capability of doing is attaching to your extensions and plugins. So I have a Slack connected on here now. So you can go here and you can go connectors and you can plug in and connect applications that have already been pre-configured. Otherwise, you can always go through GitHub and go through online sources and add an MCP, and the MCP would be able to give you extended capabilities outside of the local application that Claude Cowork gives you, which is really cool and it is really handy. What we can do, I'll give you an example, is let's go back to this one, is that we can say, send this to me on Slack, send this to me as a Slack message. So mine is connected to the Zapier MCP connection. So it's using the Zapier MCP to send out certain actions. I tend to find that Zapier has way more connection than connectors. Beautiful. And there you go. So it sent out the product summary on the Zapier connection. So now what you can do, another thing that has the capability of doing is creating automations directly through Claude Cowork. So you don't have to create N8N automations or make.com automations for like simple tasks anymore, like daily briefings or let's say you have a meeting. You can literally ask Claude Cowork to create an automation or a daily task that it could perform for you. Another thing you can do is you can set Claude Cowork to create automations for you and schedule them. So you don't have to do a task. The one caveat to this is that the desktop has to be on and you can't close Claude Cowork. That's the caveat, which is a little bit of a downside in comparison to using OpenClaw, whereas it can just kind of run 24/7 without any application going on because you give it full access to your computer. Or you can run it on a VPS and it's technically always going to be running, which is a virtual private server. However, Claude Cowork is significantly more secure. So what we're going to do is we're going to request for Claude Cowork to create a daily task to go through my Notion to-do list and send me a Slack message with the top 5 most urgent tasks, which is a very, very simple way to demonstrate this. However, you can get it to do tasks such as if you know there's a weekly meeting and you record those meetings and you put it in a certain file and you need a weekly summary of those meetings, you can create an automation to do that. This is to demonstrate what you can and can't do. So you'll connect multiple connectors and multiple apps in order for it to get the job done and perform a task. You can see the benefit of using Claude Cowork because the use is significantly more user-friendly in comparison to Claude Code, where you need to use a IDE like Anti-Gravity or Cursor to build out the automations. You can just use the Claude application, and you could use the plugins and skills, which are a little bit easier for the average user to use and create in comparison to using the IDE, which is an independent development extension. Cool. So it creates the shortcut. It's running the skill. So let's set it at 9 a.m. and let's set DM to myself, all to-do lists. And there you go. So what this is going to do, so it has created a task list. And what it does is it's going to scroll through my Notion, send me a Slack message with the most urgent tasks that need to be done and completed, work that it can reduce, and how much more efficient it can make your workflow. All right, so last but not least, I think we went in the wrong order, is that we can work on files locally on our computers. So you're just going to select the folder that you want to work on and just say allow. And let's just say organize the last 100 files in my downloads folder by file type and place all screenshots in a folder independently. So that's pretty cool. And that is all done. And just to show you that it worked, we just show you the folder types that were all created today, and everything that was created within it, which is really, really cool. And those are the last 100 files. So archive. And I think it's just going to make things more organized for you. And I think it has a lot of value in it as well. All right. And there you go, guys. Those are 5 phenomenal features of Claude Cowork that have totally transformed my workflow and my efficiency. And if I were to be totally honest with you, I only started using this in the last couple of days. Before, I was creating my automations manually using N8, and it is a phenomenal skill to have, but the simplicity and the efficiency of using Claude Cowork, I can understand why it had such a massive impact on the SAS community and the software community, because its capabilities are phenomenal. And if you teach the average user how to use this, it could absolutely just transform the enterprise game and the efficiency game in big companies and just in small businesses in general. Follow along, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, do like, subscribe, and share this video. I will be adding a lot of this info into ourschool.com, so please do join. Thank you.